because it hasn't let me know yet. Are we live? We are live. One of these days, like StreamYard is going to work the way you think it was supposed to. Anyway, today is not that day, but you know what today is? It's Friday, slightly afternoon here on the East Coast. Beautiful day, actually, right now. No complaints whatsoever. Perfect time to do small business trends breakdown. There's quite a bit to break down, too. And I don't break things down by myself. What fun would that be? I bring in from West Coast to East Coast friends, experts, thought leaders, people I kind of like. Starting out, Due West. I think it's Due West. I think we determined that he's still the furthest west. We'll figure it out. But he is Leland from Oregon. Hey, Leland.
Hey, Brent. It's good to hear that you kind of like me. That warms my heart.
Don't get all full of yourself there. Kinda is the key word. Now, I think the next person up is a little bit in different order than we're used to because I think he's already out there. We'll find out if he's already out there. It is Ramon. Usually I say Ramon from the whatever capital. Vacation capital in the world. He's left the vacation capital of the world to go very far west. Ramon Ray.
What's up, Brent? You know what's interesting about this is when you talk about the person you're bringing up before they're up and they can't say nothing to you in real time. It's fun about this. But yes, I am from the vacation capital of the world, New Jersey, and temporarily in the Sunshine State, I think, California. But Leland, you know what, Leland? You're such a good soul. You can always be before me every time. No problem at all. I cede that to you for the remainder of this show.
Wow, that's very nice of him.
That's an honor. That's a true honor.
Get you right here, like that digestion I had. But moving towards our east and bringing back to not the nation's heartland, because she didn't like that when I said the nation's heartland. What is it? The nation's like soul land, or actually it's the nation's rock and roll land when you think about it. It is Madam Mic Drop all the way from Medina, lovely Medina. It is Eva Taylor.
Hi, everyone. Yes, we are close to the rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, where we rock it day in and day out.
Wow, nice. We rock it day in and day out. You could put that on a t-shirt. You need to that should be Cleveland's tagline.
They have so many wonderful, I think they call it Believe Land. And I won't go into that because I'm a Pittsburgher. I'm a native Pittsburgher. And
wow,
this is my transplanted home.
In a foreign country, Cleveland, because Pittsburgh and Cleveland, y'all don't really get along too well, do you?
It's really on the Clevelander side. I don't know why they don't like us. We like them.
Oh, wow, that's such a nice sentiment. Going, I guess, to the further east now, since Ramon is out there with Leland out west. Coming straight from our nation's capital, Shashi. Well, actually, he's actually not, because I think he's in a hotel. But he's still Shashi. Hey, Shashi.
Hey, no, I'm still in the capital of the world where all attention is drawn towards me because the Smithsonian museums have opened. Especially the Air and Space Museum. That's why we are in the news, Washington, D.C. all the time.
Oh, that's why we're in the news. Okay, thanks for letting us know. I thought there might be a couple of other things driving the news cycle there, but we'll go with that, Shashi. All right. Well, we got some news, so I like to, ask you guys the regular question, but I always like to kind of seed it with whatever stuff kind of happened during the last course of the week. And we don't even have to talk about the course of the week. We can just talk about this morning, really, because some interesting and kind of negative kind of jobs report came out. So you see 73,000 jobs were created in July, below expectations of, I think it was in the low 100s. So they were kind of expecting. So not very good news, but actually the news is a little worse because they revised the last 2 months, I think, down by 258,000 jobs or something like that. So very bad well, I won't say I just say not good jobs report. And I think I got a couple of other little stats here. So this is the trend we're in when it comes to job reports. And yeah, that's not the way you really want it going. We went from 900,000 in 2022. I forget what month that is. But now 73,000 July of 2025. And if you notice those two job revisions for the last couple of months, we almost didn't create any jobs, which is really not good. And then let's see, I think wage growth. So wage growth also has taken a pretty significant dive since 20.
You can't call it wage growth anymore.
Yeah, I guess I better call it something else because that ain't growth. Well, it's growth, but it's just not as much growth as it was going on a couple of years ago. That's true. So we can still say that. So, and we also, although I don't have a slide for that, we also we did see inflation tick up based off last week's inflation numbers. So take it all into consideration. Jobs slowing rather rapidly. And just a little tick up. I'm not going to make a big deal out of inflation, but it was trending down over the last couple of years. And then we saw a tick up the last report. So you got, looks like raising numbers when it comes to jobs, or I should say very slowing numbers when it comes to job creation, and a slight tick up in inflation. With all that said, and I'm not getting into the other stuff that's been going on, just sticking to the numbers here. With all that said, let's go around the horn, although that's a show that just got canceled. But we'll go around the horn anyway, and we'll ask you guys, how you feeling this week? How you feeling right now after hearing some of that stuff? Let's start with, who wants to start? Let me ask, who wants to start?
I was going to jump in, but I'm happy. Let's have someone else.
Go for it, Ron. Go for it.
So anyway,
go for it, Ramon.
All right. Yeah, I think two things, Brent. I think one, I was talking to one of my brand partners, people we all work with these brands, and they said, Ramon, no matter what you see in the headline, do note we are hiring thousands of people. So I think that when I heard that's just, again, one data point of your data point, Brent, I just think that, yes, there's the data, there's the economic numbers, which we need, right? In a capitalistic and a data-driven society, these things are important. We need to know where the country stands, the economy stands. But I think it's interesting because even though the numbers are low in this report, I bet another X thousands of people were hired in some industry, some category. And next month, next quarter, next season, it's going to shift. So the numbers are important, but I think we have to take numbers probably in combination with 2, 3, 4, 5 other data points. And Brent, may I just tag someone to make it easier? May I tag somebody? Do I do that?
Tag away.
I'm going to tag Ivana Taylor.
Well, Ramon, I'm going to give an unusual opinion because we're going to be focused on small businesses and what this means. And what I expect this means, because we have seen this before, is that you're going to see a lot more small businesses starting. Because what do we know? Entrepreneurs are optimistic. The last number of solopreneurs that I saw, I've seen 28 million, and then I've seen 29 million. So, this is something that really comes from the Census Bureau. So these are estimates and such, but I expect to see a rise in smaller businesses. To Ramon's point, there are certain sectors that are doing incredibly well. And these are doing well in terms of being awesome marketing niches, as well as in the bigger economy. Like ethnic arm using, so I expect to see health and wellness growing because healthcare is really, really growing. Obviously, technology. So I expect that there's opportunities here for solopreneurs, experts, those kinds of people who can really niche down and provide value.
Tag somebody.
Oh, tag. I am going to tag over to Leland.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't think, we got all these numbers, but there's always more to it. I just saw a report this morning that said that Americans over the last 4 months have gotten 1.8 million jobs, gained 1.8 million jobs, American-born citizens, 1.8 million jobs, but foreign-born had lost 1.5 million. And so there's a bit of a shift within the last few months to where companies are hiring more US born citizens rather than and foreign born workers are actually losing their jobs. And so there's a bit of a shift there. And once that starts to even out, you'll probably see a lot more of an increase because you're seeing lost as well as gain. And I actually saw per true inflation, inflation is actually at 1.67. That was their estimate. So take that with what it is. So we've had other good news. The trade deal with EU has happened. That's been finalized. And also South Korea. South Korea's trade deal was finalized as well, which is good for small businesses that get goods from South Korea. Japan's was finalized as well. So I think when it comes to small businesses, there's a lot of good news, especially within trade, that indicate good metrics, going forward. And according to Polymarket, there's about a 77% chance, and this is all about betting odds and stuff like that, and they're usually pretty good, that the Feds may lower the rates. So we may see a rate decrease, which could be good for small businesses who want to get loans and be able to expand. And I'd love to be able to see that. But all of that pales in comparison to what's going to happen tomorrow, because I'm going to turn 41. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh, 41. A mere pup. Well, congratulations and happy birthday ahead of time then, since we can't do it on the birthday. Should we all sing? No.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leland. And happy birthday to you.
The dulcet tones of Ramon.
Dulcet.
Yes,
that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna clip that, and that's coming with me for life.
It would be like one of those celebrity birthday shout outs for you, Leland.
Yeah, and I didn't want to disturb the beautiful voice that Ramon had by singing along with him.
Well, I guess that leaves you, Shashi.
Yeah. I'm the jobs part. I'm really not that worried about, simply because I think there was an over recruitment in the last 3 to 4 years, and that's probably balancing a little bit. The 73,000 jobs, if I read this correctly, are still, I think, like Ivana said, healthcare, a lot of other jobs, right? And she also services, and she also rightfully pointed out that this jobs report doesn't track self-employed. And I think there's an increase in self-employed because almost, and I'm feeling that too. Like whenever I see somebody, they're always saying like, I don't want to go back to work in a company. I'm going to do my own business, especially those who are not as young as Leyland, right? So that's one thing. But the second part of it, where the wage growth is very low, I think is unfair. Not necessarily has nothing to do with who's in power or otherwise, but companies have now decided that we can be more profitable because all the companies' earning results were so good. You're probably going to talk about it next. Are so good, but they're still retrenching people. So there isn't a way to say like, hey, we are going to try to reward loyalty within companies. So that will affect small businesses because already I think in the DC area, houses, cars, all of them are affected by like the Fed layoffs and other company layoffs that are here. So if you're in a place which has a high amount of unemployed people, you probably have to think about your expansion plans.
Your expansion plans. That's pretty cool. That's the way to put it. All right. So you kind of mentioned it. Got a lot of earnings reports that came out, particularly in the tech sector. And they were really all off the charts.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at what Meta did, Meta beat its revenue estimates by 2.5 billion. That's beating. That's not what they. That's what they beat the estimates by. I believe we're talking in the neighborhood of 60 or 70 billion in total revenue.
Yeah.
Microsoft did the same, but Microsoft's total revenue was 76 billion for the quarter, which beat their revenue estimates by 2.5 billion. Apple came out, they topped their estimates. And let's see. Oh, Amazon did too. Although it was ironic, Amazon did really well overall, but they didn't get the same reaction as some of the other ones did, mainly because they're looking at AWS versus Azure, and Azure, as big as it is now roughly on track to be $120 billion business unto itself, which is kind of crazy, and is growing at a 40% year-over-year rate, which is even more crazy when you have a company that size growing that quick. And AWS is only, and I'm doing like air quotes, AWS is only growing at a 12% clip. So that's why they got clipped, so to speak. But anyway, huge numbers, all that money, printing money, 20 billion a quarter in profit, that kind of thing. And yet people are still getting laid off. Now, a lot of that was going on pre Gen AI era. They called it pruning. It's like when they looked at, we want to make sure that we're keeping our employees honest. So if you're in the bottom 20% in terms of productivity, you might get clipped, even though your company is killing it. I think with AI, you're going to see that pruning become like not just a little pruning knife, but like a hatchet. And you're going to see way more people getting laid off at companies killing it because AI is just replacing some of those folks. It's going beyond the pruning aspect. So anyway, and I noticed you guys were saying a lot about how in this kind of environment, people start businesses, that's driven because they got laid off. Now, a certain portion of those folks really do want to have their own business. And so they're not just starting it because they have to, they're starting it because they want to. But there's also a significant amount of people who get laid off, who start their business, but as soon as the job market gets better, they want the comfort of a 40-hour work week and benefits and a steady income. So although you see these numbers spike up when things get rough and people start businesses, but a lot of that is because out of necessity, as opposed to out of desire and want to. So you got to take that into consideration too. But with all that said, do you feel like these tech companies are taking advantage because they're the ones leading in the layoff department, and they're also the one leading in the making money department still? How does a small business read into those kind of things? What do small businesses need to be aware of or think about when they see these kind of things happen?
I'll start. I didn't want to believe it. While you were going through those numbers, I did a little bit of searching, and what came up shocked me because intuitively I did not think that was so. And that is that small business owners are benefiting from these kinds of technologies also, right?
That's right. 100%.
You got to, and I'm just going to say this, I have lots of opinions, but you got to look at the numbers and the data and the experts. So while my audience and my community is feeling a lot of pain, apparently that is not the case. In fact, I wish John were here because the e-commerce sector has experienced much of this kind of growth. And so, like I said, no one is more surprised than I am. But Biz True Credit had something come out, and so Leland can probably speak to that. But they are adopting these technologies, right? They are also benefiting from these technologies. And so let's also talk about, one of my favorite topics when we talk about technology is kind of leveling the playing field. I did some research about costs increasing in different sectors. And one of the sectors that nobody really talks about, but we talked about it briefly, like when Canva was increasing prices, but a lot of software that small business owners use, specifically marketing software, has increased by approximately 20 to 30%. And that's an expense, right? Where with the trade deal that's going on with Europe that Leland mentioned, we're selling a lot of energy to Europe. What does that mean? That means that our businesses are going to be paying a lot more for that energy. So I expect maybe the cost of AI to go up. The cost, go ahead.
No, it's cost of AI. Please continue.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, it is lifting the boats. That, and I think smaller businesses will benefit. Go ahead, Ramon.
Yeah, I just want to say to what your point, 2 points about about how it's benefiting small businesses. I agree 100%. When you look at, I believe, and y'all can correct me, I'm not sure if y'all saw this, but AWS, Amazon recently had their shindig in New York. Intuit was part of that. Just a quick brief mention. They mentioned our partner Intuit. Intuit, their AI push for small businesses, I believe, just making some inferences, I guess, is built on leveraging AWS agents or something like that. You'll know what I'm trying to say. Okay, thank you for that nod, Brent. You can make sure I'm on the right track. So that's number one. And then number two, my coach, Lamar Tyler, he's been saying for years, if you want to grow your business, if you want to scale your business, Facebook advertising, other ones too, but Facebook advertising is the best there is. We can throw shade, not like it, say it's expensive, all the things that we, as you're kind of hinting, even if we want to do, but that's a fact. If I'm selling cups and I can do it organically, I can do it word of mouth, but if I want to build $1 million brand, I need to spend $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month to increase my sales, and Facebook, give them credit. They do it the best. We're talking about using AI. Another thing is, you said, even more and more of these brands are using AI internally, back end, smarter to make it better. So on one hand, we don't want to spend money. We don't want to be gouged, but God bless America. If Facebook is serving better ads and helping us target smarter, that means I will benefit. If Netflix is serving me TV shows better, that means it's a better viewing experience, and I'm willing to pay for it. So it is a beautiful circle.
I agree with. In fact, one of the things that we'll see in future, Brent, Leland, Ramon, and Ivana, is small businesses also will start doing things without additional help. That might mean that the number of hours your contract HR person is going to be doing may be very less, because software is going to do most of that work for you. Right. Your chartered accountant probably will be doing less hours. So it's going to affect, but this effect is evolutionary, right? I always use the example of the guy with the flag in front of a car when cars were first invented, right? Or a elevator operator. So these jobs will go away. I think the only way that small businesses and individuals can hedge against all of this is by constant upskilling. Don't wait for somebody to tell you that you're redundant, right? Start working on it even before that happens to you.
Leland?
Going back to the jobs thing, I don't think that it really kind of started going down because of AI. Honestly, I would blame more Elon Musk than anyone. So he got Twitter, and he wanted to prune. He pruned a lot of people, and for good reason, because there was a lot of these employees, they were brazen about it. They would post videos about my daily life as a Twitter employee. Come with me onto my rooftop garden area where I'm sipping smoothies. And then you realize, you watch the whole video, you've only done 5 minutes worth of work. Are you needed? And you know that Elon Musk is watching this going, do I need that person? And so he cut, I think it was around 70% of his employees, and he goes, okay, can we make Twitter work? Then turned into next, can we make it work with 30% of the staff? Turns out you can. And so these people kind of did it to themselves. They flaunted their 5 minutes of work time with a whole bunch of like, oh, I get to go to yoga, I get to have smoothies, I get to enjoy all these perks of working with Twitter or Apple or Microsoft. And it wasn't just Twitter, they came out of multiples, and so multiple companies. And so I imagine that there was these executives going, well, maybe we can start cutting some people and it not affect our bottom line, and then we'll get more profits, and hopefully that trickles down to better pricing for small business owners. I don't think that will happen, but they'll keep the profits.
Leland,
who's laughing? Was that Shashi?
but Leland and Brent, isn't this what Wayfair's CEO was saying back in the day? Back in the day, could be 8 months ago. He had this big epiphany or memo. I want you all to work harder, work harder, work harder. I think it was Wayfair's CEO, and he was kind of lambasted by some of the influencers online. But to your point, Leland, companies that make a profit, they're paying you to work 10 hours a day. Sure, take a lunch break, pay you well, fly you nicely. Talking about tech firms, whatever. But you got to work hard and grind, Leland. So to your point, I mean, I can't have anybody on my team like, oh, Ramon's paying me and I'm getting paid for 8 hours of work and doing 4 hours. Nah, that doesn't work.
You guys are forgetting something.
What are we forgetting even? Please tell me, what am I forgetting?
I guess this is how I earned my mic drop thing. This is not a mic drop, but this is just a reminder. And I can't help but say this again this week. We forget, CEOs forget, businesses forget, who is the customer, right? When you are the customer, that experience is tailored to you. And sometimes that occurs as a little extra service, a little extra time. Right now, where this is most profoundly visible is in the healthcare experience. We are not the customers of healthcare. The insurance company is the customer, because the entire system is structured to cut costs out of touching the customer. Every time you touch the customer, it creates two things. It creates cost and value, right? The better, I just realized that this doesn't sound very appropriate, but like the better that customer experience, the more frequent the touch, the better the quality of that experience, your costs are going to go up. However, all of that means that reduces profit. So I always ask myself, who is the customer? Who is the customer here? And I will definitely say that the Twitter experience is exponentially worse. My Facebook experience is exponentially worse. The only customer experience I've had that is relatively good and maintained the same, believe it or not, in terms of software is with my Zoho One. Wow. I'm having a good experience, and that cost for me has only increased because I bought more space.
Nice.
But in essence, it has stayed the same. So I totally not taken away from the fact that there was waste in the workforce. Absolutely. Not taken away from that. But I also don't think that companies and CEOs are considering the impact on their ability to increase profits by providing more value.
I will agree with you. Yeah. When you're trying to do customer service, when it comes to some of these tech companies, especially social media companies, they don't want to hear from you. They've never wanted to hear. I don't remember ever being able to contact support for Facebook or anything like that.
Well, Leland, Facebook does reach out. You have received the emails from Pradeep and Jenny and Juan and Elizabeth saying, hey, we want to help you schedule a call. Come on now.
Yes, we want you to buy ads.
Okay, so
we want to help you tailor the ad. Come on for the 30-minute, 15-minute coaching call. Go ahead, Leland. Come on.
Well, I was gonna say I have a cousin. Whose wife owns a coffee shop. This woman lost her Facebook account. It wasn't like a hacker or anything like that. Facebook just said, nope, you are looking like a spammer, and just killed her Facebook account. And she tried contacting Facebook. She's a business owner. She buys ads. So she makes Facebook money.
Yep, I
and
agree.
Facebook did not want anything to do with her. They just shut her down. And so she's like, well, okay, I'll build another Facebook account. And then they shut that one down too.
Ooh,
It's
wow.
just, you know, and no one wanted to contact them back. But that's always kind of been the case with Facebook. They never want to talk
You're
to
right,
people.
yeah.
They never want to
True.
help you.
Leland, I think I've heard similar stories, but to Ivana's point, she might have tried this, I'm not sure, but if she had contacted the ad people and asked for support, she would have got it, because I've had this happen to me like several times when I was in network solutions helping small businesses.
But
So
you need to have
which,
you need to have a Facebook account in order to be able to contact the ads department. They won't usually, like, I told her to do that, and she's like, I can't do it without a Facebook account.
which means she probably did not have a business account, because business account is always connected to a personal account, right? So they can take the personal account off when they take the business account. So setting up, I mean, it's semantics at this point. But what I'm saying is the Facebook users are not the customer.
Right.
They are the product. So they pay. Facebook actually pays a lot of attention to people who advertise, like Ramon said. And I actually would advise small businesses to pay attention to Facebook advertising. I'll tell you why. I went to the Shenandoah last weekend. I saw a board on the road that said Naked Winery, right? I went home and I got an ad from Naked Winery. It was not because we were discussing going to Naked Winery. Geo-targeting.
Yeah.
They
Right.
targeted everybody who visits the area who's not from that area. I think that's brilliant. And it also almost made us go and visit the winery, right? So Facebook's results, I think, what, 22% increase or something like that in advertising, because they've gotten better at saying, let's focus on where the money is coming from.
And Shashi, that's where I meant the AI and all this, as we know, as we started out, as Brent started us out, you know, these companies are investing in AI. That's no, it's not a fad. They're investing in it to make it a better experience, to make it easier. Facebook wants the small business owner to be able to hit one button, to not even think about it. And Facebook will prompt you, hey, we noticed you're here. You don't have geo-targeting. Would you like us to try this for 30 days at $12? That's a win-win. And Facebook will shut it off if it doesn't work. They want your business to grow so you can spend X% of your marketing dollars on Facebook. End of story.
And
Really,
welcome. I just want to quickly get a little welcome in, because I wasn't able to get it in before. But I hope I say your name right. Masillo? I hope that's right. Thanks for joining us. I don't know if we've ever heard from you before, but thanks for joining us and being there. And of course, our buddy Pierre
Yeah.
is saying Leland's example is also a warning to platforms seeking to attract influencers and small businesses with features. They need to have a dedicated support to solve problems without removing accounts automatically.
That's right.
Great points.
I have
That's true.
I think I just want to put a bold or an asterisk on what Shashi was talking about, because now this is the second time I've heard this wonderful tip. And I was watching a video of somebody who was had an issue, right? A customer support issue. I don't know if he wanted to, he was charged incorrectly or something like that, right? Could not get in touch with anyone. Couldn't get in touch, couldn't find anyone, loop, couldn't get a person. It dawns on him finally to contact them and say he needed a change of address.
Smart.
Because the change of address means I want to keep getting your money. I want to keep getting the right, or maybe changing your credit card, changing your address, anything like that puts their income at risk. So if you can't find a person, like, start there to get an actual person.
All right. So you guys just mentioned like all this marketing stuff and video. I have not given you a trivia question yet, because the conversation has been so good. I didn't want to just break it. All right, shut up and let's get to this. All right, so we got a little lull here. I'm going to go out on a limb and think maybe Shashi has read this thing I'm about to bring up. So I don't know if this is going to be a fair thing or not, but I've been really digging into the YouTube put out this 20th anniversary of YouTube culture and something else is what they call it. Lots of really interesting things. And did you read it, Shashi?
By the way, Brent, I don't read anything I send you.
With that in mind, so I found some really interesting things, and I thought, oh wow, well now let me say, look at that. Hello to Darlene.
Hey,
let me I skip place because Pierre had a bit of a follow-up. He says, and Shashi also raises the concern that entrepreneurs must keep in mind platforms can sometimes treat people as the product, and especially their data as the product. An emphasis on community is essential. We'll see as the AI adoption Ramon describes continues. All right. Look, he got both of y'all in there. That's a real good one.
yeah.
And yes, thank you for joining us, Darlene. And she agrees. And happy Friday to you too, Nikki Brooks.
Hey.
Wow. Yeah, we're beautiful people, partially because John Lawson isn't here. Did I say that? Did I say that out loud? I really didn't mean to. Let's move on.
Hey, Nikki.
Let's move on. All right. So, and anybody who's here, this question is for you. So please put your answers in the comments if you care to play along with us. So I think I found two things. I want to make sure I don't give you the answer. So I want to make sure. Okay. I do this too many damn times. All right. So here's one thing I thought was really interesting. Over how many hours of YouTube content are watched per day? I'll give you a hint. It's a big number.
All right, can you narrow it down, Brent? I really don't know. Is it billions or millions? Can you help us with that?
Billions.
Yeah, I don't have the context.
I'm going billions.
Okay.
Billions.
I said, he asked if it was billions or millions. I just said yes.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I said it was a big number, so
27 billion.
I'm saying, okay, 27 billion, Leland said. I'm saying 400 million.
No.
Okay, so we got 400 million, you got 27 billion. Even up. Not 42.
Not 42.
Not 42.
Um
Darlene has already beat you. She's saying 1,000 billion.
Oh my God. No, I'm not going that far. I'm actually gonna say 3 billion. I honestly don't know.
Okay, that's a good one. 3
And
billion.
I think, Brent, it's interesting with these questions is, and this one, probably our hesitation, we don't have context yet or math to know what even billion or million means, which is an interesting human issue. But continue.
Pierre is saying 450 million. All right.
Ooh, okay.
We're all over the board.
right.
We're all over the board here.
I'm going to give you some math, Ramon. Let's say of like the 6 to 7 billion population of the earth, 2 billion will watch every day.
Perfect. I love this now.
Yep.
Yes.
And they watch for on an average 4 hours every day.
I
That
like
may be a little high, but that means it's 8 billion.
I love it.
I thought of that after I said my answer. So, but I'll stick with
I thought of
27
that.
billion because
I thought that's what I was doing too, but I didn't go that high with the population.
Well, I'm going to stick still. My number was about 300 million. I think I said something like that. A couple hundred million, I said. So.
400?
Somebody said, I think it was 400 million. Let me go. So we have 450 from Pierre, 450 million. Ramon, you said what, 200 or 300?
300 something million. I can't remember the exact number.
Yeah, all right. Even if you said 3 billion.
I said 3 billion.
And
what did you say, Shashi?
8
billion. And Leland is right out there.
I went out there. I regret my answer. but
Leland is watching. He's supposed to be watching YouTube right now, but he stopped the YouTube show. And
because I'm
Nikki,
not watching YouTube right now.
Leland's number is from his watching alone.
well, guess what? Nikki Brooks, $1 billion. I think you're right, Nikki.
Wow.
Yay, Nikki!
Yay, Nikki.
Nikki, congratulations. You win nothing but our affection, and thank you for being here. But
Thank
hope
you, Nikki.
like
Good
that.
job. Well done.
Thank you. All right, now I'll throw in an additional one if you're up for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Make us look stupid, Brent.
I love, how I love to do this. YouTube Shorts gets over blankety blank views per day. Now this is just YouTube Shorts and views per day.
Okay, going by the math, they're about at most 3 minutes long, and I personally go through about like 1,000 a day. I don't.
Don't worry about don't worry about the time. It's just the
4 billion.
views per day. Okay.
My number, Brent, is 4 billion. 4 billion views.
Ramon is in for 4 billion.
I'll stick up and I'll do 15 billion.
You guys,
I will go big.
Neil is going big. This is what happens on his birthday weekend. You know, he just
doom scrolling is a serious thing.
I'm sticking with my 3 billion. I'm going to stay with my 3 billion. It's going to be right eventually.
All right, 6 billion.
All right. And Nikki, Pierre,
Anybody?
Darlene, anybody want to get your vote in before I show? All right. Wow. Darlene,
Darlene.
She went bigger than Leland. Wow. 20 billion. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and let's say the answer is, I need a drum roll. Thank you. That's good enough. 200 billion views per day.
Wow.
Leland, what was yours?
15. Darlene was the closest.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, we're just talking views, and I don't know what is a view in terms of a short? Is it the same amount of viewing as a regular? I don't know
what's over 3 seconds. I think I went somewhere. Got that number? Is it something?
Yeah.
3 seconds? Okay.
Over 3. Yeah, I think 3.
Wow.
Then, with that being the case, it's easy to see 200 billion.
Yeah.
Do all of us do doom scrolling? I mean, doom is a negative word, but I do it. I flip. Wake up in the morning, you get caught in something, and 20 minutes is gone. Everybody does that, or
it's such a great. I remember years and years ago, and I cannot remember this woman's name. She wrote a brilliant book. I reviewed it, and she talked about time slices. So this is like around the time Twitter launched Vine, and social was just coming out. Things were happening, and she talked about time slicing. And what she talked about was content activities online that would allow you to chew up or occupy slices of your time. So the reason that whether you're talking about Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, any of these short format videos is so great is that, like, honestly, this is so embarrassing. I put the coffee on, I empty the dishwasher, and I've got like 3 minutes left until my coffee's done. That's one video, right? Or I'm waiting in line at the supermarket, or I'm waiting in the waiting room to see the doctor. These in-between moments.
I'm the reverse of that. Even let's say your coffee and dishes issue, in between doing the coffee and dishes, you're scrolling. For me, as I get to do the coffee and dishes, I start scrolling, and then I get to the dishes 4 hours later.
Because that is enough. That's a whole other problem of mine.
So, I'd be like this. Say the dishes over there. I'm like, and I look up,
He's
gone.
And I think the beauty of these platforms is, and I actually love the algorithm to a point, in that it finds these what I would call interest adjacent topics. So let's say it understands, I might watch a full video. I love linguistics, and then I'll watch these linguistic experts talk about accents and where they come from, whether they're regional or global or whatever. And then I'll get this or interesting video on geography and why is it that most people in Michigan don't live by the water.
You like, right? They know you like that too.
They know, or history, or topics, or cleaning an oven. These are topics that I personally would not search out or seek out in my daily life because I have things to do.
And even I'll tell you something. I was talking to Brent yesterday about this. He said not to tell everybody, but I'll just tell you kind of what we're talking about. is that Brent? There's a channel. One of his favorite channels, HOT. It's Hot Hats of Trump, and so he'll be scrolling different hats that the president wears. So that's what Brent was talking about with me yesterday.
Because he wants to make sure he's got his version of the Rams hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have 2 tips for small businesses on this. Number 1 is you have to have personality for these videos, especially, even if you are an introvert, you have to somehow manage it, because there is a second metric that Facebook looks at that's called skip rate. Meaning, if people like, if 80% of them are just skipping and not watching it fully, even if it's a short, that means it's not interesting enough, right? The second thing, which I unfortunately like, I've been creating a few reels, especially travel and things like that. If you use Facebook suggestions for audio, you have to make sure it's royalty free or use a tool to create your own music, because one of my reels is doing very well. And guess who's getting the monetization? I used some artist's music because I thought, like, hey, Facebook is suggesting. I mean, I'm happy if somebody's getting some money out of it, but it's something to watch out for if you're in the business of monetization. Just because it is short, it's a great medium. Restaurants should actually do this. Like, I have another friend, restaurant owner in Singapore. I mean, you feel like flying to Singapore as you see those reels.
Damn.
But
I better not watch them then.
that's true. My favorite is travel, and Facebook thinks that that's the only topic I like because that's all I get.
Well, they feed the beast, like you were saying earlier. That's how they get you doom scrolling all that stuff. But one thing on YouTube, I don't know if you've seen this trend, but the return of the long form video is really kicking, and particularly when you're talking about like these deep, even beyond business, but business is at the heart of a lot of this stuff. But the deep discussions around AI and how it's impacting these big issues, and business being one of them. I'm not a big follower of podcasts or video podcasts or any kind of podcast. But lately I have to attribute this to YouTube. Lately they recommended some stuff that I don't think I would have watched a couple of months ago, but these like 2-hour-long discussions with people that are experts in the field. I stumbled upon one of these really, I think it was this put up last week. This Peter Diamandis guy, the moonshot guy. He That's brings he has the Moonshot podcast or something like that. And it's always about very deep topics and stuff like that. And he gets these experts, and usually when I see like 90 minutes, I'm out. I'm like, I ain't worried about that. But for some reason, the topic caught my attention, and of course it was around some AI stuff in business. But I ended up watching. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched at least half of that. That's 90 damn minutes.
That's huge.
And then I started getting, then they started feeding me. So I started getting all these really interesting business AI tech podcasts that were 90 minutes, 2 hours long. And I noticed, wow, I've been missing out. I felt like so I've been watching this stuff, and I've been recommending. I just put my first recommendation out on LinkedIn a couple of days ago, that moonshot thing. And as I'm reading this 20-year thing from YouTube, one of those things is like people are making both short videos, but the rise in long form videos is, so it's like where you are now, you can go shorter and you should go longer in terms of kind of what you're doing. Now, one of the things I saw is this really interesting conversation with an author of a book that just came out about OpenAI and their approach to what they're doing and how that's impacting everything we do. I want to play this clip because it kind of fits in with the AI report from the Trump administration. And one of the key components was talking about deregulation. They want to make AI innovation, keep America in the lead when it comes to AI innovation. And part of what they think is the formula for that is less regulation around what's going on with AI. And I want you to listen to, I think her name is Karen Howe, who is writing this book. She used to be with Wall Street Journal and a couple other places. What she says about what some of these companies, I think this is particularly what OpenAI is doing when it comes to using natural resources. So check this out.
We're seeing reports of Elon Musk's exit.
Let's start that again. I hate StreamYard. It doesn't do what I think it's supposed to do. I'm going to start that again. Here we go.
We're seeing reports of Elon Musk's XAI, the giant supercomputer that he built called Colossus in Memphis, Tennessee. It is being powered with around 35 unlicensed methane gas turbines that are pumping thousands of toxic air pollutants into the air, into that community. So this data center acceleration is not just accelerating the climate crisis, it also is accelerating the public health crisis of people's ability to access clean air as well as clean water. So one of the aspects that's really under talked about with this kind of AI development, the OpenAI's version of AI development, is that these data centers need fresh water to cool, because if they used any other kind of water, it would corrode the equipment, it would lead to bacterial growth. And so most often these data centers actually use public drinking water, because when they enter into a community, that is the infrastructure that's already laid to deliver the fresh water to companies, to businesses, to residents.
All right. So we know how important AI is and is becoming increasingly more important as almost every day passes. And partially what I just mentioned about the Trump administration's AI document they put out, getting rid of a lot of things that they think will be in the way of AI innovation and keeping America at the front of that. But when you hear stuff like that, how they're doing it, where should small businesses, what kind of understanding should they see and understand and know about? They know they need AI, but at what cost do we need AI?
I have a strong opinion on this, Brent.
Go ahead.
Very strong opinion. I know I just heard it, so I'm speaking knee-jerk reaction. But I think that, one, we as Americans, as people, as the world for that matter, have to pick our battles. Secondary on that, I don't know what's true, what to believe anymore. I thought the big war of the day was plastics, that us drinking water out of plastics and heating in microwaves was the big danger, cancer causing and more. So now this expert here, and she's right, everything she's saying, no disagreement, she's talking about now the AI data centers. So which flag, which horn do we blow? We can't solve everything. And then number three is that very few people, many people, shout the alarm of environmental sustainability, let's call it that, but few who are really willing to do it. So all three are important, I think. Who do you believe? What's really happening to? What do we prioritize? But then is it, okay, we're going to recycle. And then you find out the own recycling company is not recycling it in your neighborhood. So to me, I get what she's saying. It's just, are we going to run out of water? I don't think we will. I'm trusting, hopefully governments know what they're doing. Or maybe, Brent, it's a poor people problem. And that people in XYZ communities, that they will suffer in time. And I wouldn't want that. So my point is, I don't have an answer, but it's just hearing her, it's just confusion.
I think we are not paying enough attention to this. Number one, it's very likely that everybody's power bill is going to go up, because power companies are for-profit companies. They're going to sell power to whoever is going to pay more. And the increased capacity of power is not as much. Yes, there are a lot of people thinking about this problem. I think there's also a big push to bring back nuclear power, because that is the fastest and probably the cleanest, right? But if we don't pay attention to this issue, because utilities, I think at some point we have to consider what is the most essential for people to have, like food, power, water. These are the things that we should pay attention to, not necessarily just as a government, but whom we elect and who is going to look after that for us. And what she's saying is quite possible. There may not be a law in that place that says you can't use drinking water for industry. So people will use it.
They'll just build it somewhere else where they don't have that regulation.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I just want to get your, because you're like the level-headed one, but Brent, you're the host. So Shashi, the level-headed, unbiased one here. Point is, what I want to hear back from you, Shashi, is to my concern. So, meaning, okay, what about the plastics, Shashi? Do we put that aside now, have that for the Congress 20 years from now, and then we focus on regulation for the power plants of AI? You get what I mean? Meaning we can't do everything. So what are you saying, Shashi?
I got an answer for you.
Okay, go ahead.
That I think that you will like. I think that you will like. So I am going to put my Econ 101 hat on from back in 1984.
I can't wait.
And the beauty of, and this might sound like devil's advocate, but I think there's opportunity here. If we really do want to lean into capitalism, lean into profit, lean into opportunity, what would be lovely to happen, right, is for us to ditch the limited thinking that in order to be profitable, we have to destroy our environment. Doing the right thing and being profitable are not mutually exclusive, and being innovative. This is like a huge opportunity now for scientists, entrepreneurs, innovators. You know, to your plastics question, there are tons of entrepreneurs out there that have come up with amazing solution to cleaning up oil spills and like all these cool things. I would love to see, if we're going to deregulate anything or if we're going to fund anything, the thing is to do almost like this open source innovation thing and really unleash the power of innovative and creative thinking from all these folks who are, do we want to say unemployed right now, who have time, who have energy. Now is the time we should be like releasing all this creative energy from our universities and students and such. I wish that there was a way to leverage our love of capitalism and free markets to solve some of these big problems. So to your point, Ramon, it wouldn't be like we're going to deal with this one thing now. You just unleash the idea of crowd innovating somehow. That, in my opinion, is my very naive and optimistic solution. How about you, Leland?
So I live in an area where, you know, of course, we got some data centers and we have basically every type of power you could ever want. We have a nuclear facility 60 miles north. We had a coal fire plant just down the road, but I live in Oregon, and Oregon goes no coal fire plants anymore. And so they shut that one down. Got a hydroelectric dam 15 minutes away, tons of solar, tons of windmills. And I'll just say they're ugly. I hate them.
You're not the only one I hear.
Really? I love them. I think they're beautiful.
I like
one
windmills.
or two here or there, but when you got 60, it just your field of view, and it's just like, okay, well, the natural landscape is gone, and the amount of birds they kill. But I know that they're also wanting to actually put in miniature nuclear reactors in my area because we're becoming a data center area. There's another data center that wants to build 60 miles down the road. And so there's a huge need for power in the area, even though we have nuclear power plant, hydroelectric, tons of windmills, solar power, you know, all these different options. We still need more power, even though we have all these options. And so they're wanting to put in these miniature nuclear reactors dotted throughout the area. And I think that that's pretty much the way. I know that nuclear gets a bad rap because probably The Simpsons and Chernobyl.
I would go with more Chernobyl than The Simpsons. But
Don't forget 3 Mile Island.
Yeah, 3 Mile Island is a good one too.
Fukushima. But in reality, when you look at it, the number of deaths caused by nuclear reactors is like it's an absurd amount less than like coal, than hydroelectric, all these, other top means of doing power, and it's clean, it's affordable, and as long as it's done correctly and you're not in a third world country or on a fault line, apparently, it should be safe.
I have
perfect, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Shashi.
I want to answer Ramon's question, right? Like Ramon,
that would be
very
helpful.
recently they started saying black plastic spatulas are bad for health, right? Now, I didn't really care for that, even though I stopped using black ones. But where I draw the line is, do I want AI or do I want drinking water? I'm focusing on drinking water, right? So that's where I draw the line of basic necessities that are not present in abundance, if that makes sense. But whatever I don't have to, like even the debate between electric ranges and gas ranges, Probably to have to dig deep into that, but today it doesn't bother me. I mean, if I don't have an electric range, I can go back to what humanity used to do with tree twigs, right, to cook your food. I hope it doesn't come to that. So does that make sense?
I think
That's
so,
worse
Josh.
for the environment. Chashi, twigs and sticks. Oh,
Yeah.
so inefficient.
I would rather have a nuclear plant than have twigs. Nuclear plant, at least if it goes down, we all can die. At twigs, only 20% of the population is burned. It just, yeah, you gotta pick. Brent, save me, please. Somebody.
This conversation took a interesting turn. Apparently, didn't know we're going there. But luckily for us, we're out of time, so we don't have to go any further on
You
that.
sure you don't want to add 30 more minutes, Brent?
I'm pretty sure. Let's see. We'll give Pierre's comment the last walkthrough here. To Ramon's point, I know you're going to like that. To Ramon's point, no one issue will have perfect priority, but we collectively have to be smart. I think he meant to be smart about how the transition works. Leland's point about nuclear is part of the debate. How do you use technology that has a bad rep despite the metrics? We'll see a blend of usages because of the nuanced debate. I think we'll also see a blend of a power source because we just can't get enough power. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I shouldn't say we. AI and processing, compute. There's no maximum. Everything always is needed as much as we can get. What is it? Full power, steam ahead, or
full steam ahead.
Give me power, Scotty, or that Star Trek thing. They're always asking Scotty for more power, and he gives them more power, and they keep asking him for more power. I mean, that's where we are right now. And Eric Schmidt, from the former CEO of Google, he said just for the U.S. there's a need for 90 nuclear powers, not the mini ones, the full blown the mansions of nuclear power, and we'll never get it. And if we did get it, we'd still need more, I'm guessing. So this is a situation, a problem, I think, and this is just me, that should be included in the discussion and in that AI document. Not to say we don't want regulation because it's going to slow down innovation. You got to take you got to take it into consideration, because if you don't, what's going to happen when we're so far down the line and something big happens, and we all know something big usually happens. I think you can't just say we're not worried about regulations because it'll slow us down. I think you have to have an honest discussion about how can we do this so that we can still maintain our lead, but also be able to drink the damn water. I think that's kind of important. I was trying to not go.
No, well summed up.
You did a great job, Brent.
All right, so let's go ahead. Thank you for all the comments. So let's go ahead and get our final thoughts. Who should I start with? Shashi.
Final thoughts. I think every morning wake up and be thankful for what you have. I think things will keep changing, but humanity will definitely win.
I like that. All right, Leland.
Small business owners, work hard, work on your business, focus. You take your breaks when you need to take your breaks, but nose to the grindstone, keep at it. Don't lose sight of your goal, and good things happen when you work hard on things.
I like that. All right, so we're going to go to Ivana because I feel compelled. I made a mistake last week when Ramon had a actual mic drop moment that I kind of overlooked. So I feel like we need to let him have that. So Ivana Taylor, what's next?
I'm just going to reiterate what I always say, but more so than ever, I'm so excited about the opportunities that are in front of small businesses today. I have been the negative one saying small business owners are always optimistic. Why are they optimistic? But I am saying lean into it. And if there's one thing you should be doing over the next week until we see you next Friday, look around. Take a notice of your customer experiences. Take a look at others' customer experiences. Look for opportunities. Customer experiences are relatively free. look and see what's missing. Can you add more touch? Can you add more value without adding more cost or equipment? So that's my challenge for everyone this week.
Find a way to add that value without costing you a dime. I like that.
It's
That-
my brand.
That could be, that might have been a mic drop in previous weeks, but we have to give it to
We know Ramon's got one. He's always
Ramon Ray. This is it. This is your moment of mic drop.
When you fall down, and you will, be sure to get back up, grab someone else's hand, and go forward together.
Oh,
That's
I
another
love
mic drop.
I have a proposal to make for the group. How about we rotate mic drops?
No, I'm sorry, I gotta
sorry.
put a heart on this. Here's the problem. We're assuming everybody will have a mic drop. What's special about the mic drop, Ivana, is Brent calls them out. I'm not one of these everybody gets a participation trophy. If Shasha gave a talk and his talk sucked, we should say his talk sucked and mine won. And I'm highly competitive. So I know.
Saying. My point is that everyone has mic drop moments. Okay, whatever you want to do, but I like this idea of calling them out.
Nah, it should be special. Like Brent should be able to have the thing 13 minutes into it. He should be able to say mic drop. See, that's the competitive nature in me. I don't want it like, oh, at the end, we know Leland's going to have a mic drop. Then he's just going to Google who's Maya Angelou, and it doesn't make any sense.
Hey, have you considered a career in improv?
First of all, I don't know whose voice you were doing just then. I know it ain't mine. That's all I'm just saying. All right. So first of all, let's say hello to Shante, because this is this kind of could be a little bit of a mic drop, but he don't have no mic to drop. So we'll do it for him. Know your why before you learn AI. Ooh, he got rhymes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a bar. That is a bar. All right. Why do you want to learn AI? I discovered 3 AI entrepreneur personas.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Come back, Shante, next time.
Leave in the comment section. And by the way, please leave a happy birthday Leland comment before we get out of here. 41. I remember when I turned 41. Barely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a century
That
ago.
was a lifetime ago for me.
20 years ago for Brent. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What'd you say? We need to end the show now, folks. So we will see you next Friday. By the way,
Everyone.
a little birdie told me we might actually be doing a live version, all of us in one place.
I like those birdies.
Maybe we'll see. Anyway, we will be back virtually next week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you then.